last year, in
Right.
fact, finding Terry's van. And maybe you can tell
Mm-hmm.
people the story about that and what transpired from there.
I will, and I do apologize because I meant to put some photos of the van on here, and I don't think I do. I don't think I've done that, but it is on our website. There's some photos in my newsletter that's on the website. So, and if anybody wants, more information, I mean, an email would be great, and I would be happy to send photos off. But what happened was Douglas Copeland in 2005 had done like a pictorial table or coffee table book called Terry, and it's different images of. It's a different book. It's different images of Terry that's in there, but also of memorabilia of, there's a photo of a pink garbage can that was Terry's last Christmas gift to my mother. Terry wasn't, it's kind of ironic. He'd raised so much money for cancer research, but he had to borrow money from the rest of us to buy Christmas presents that last year. And the one thing is this pink garbage can that's in the book that my mom had kept forever. But and then the photos of his jug of water, and so it's a really interesting book, and it's just a different way to look at sort of Terry's life and life before and after. And we had I guess after the launch of the book, he was in Vancouver, and first of all, the van we didn't know where it went. Like, it was just sold, and I don't think any of us really gave it another thought.
Okay.
Again, in Ontario. And then Doug Copeland was at this party in Vancouver, and somebody came up to him and said, "Doug, great book, why didn't you have a photo of a before and after photo of the van?" And he's like, "Well, we don't have it. Like, why, nobody knows where it is." And he goes, "It's down the street." So Doug phones Daryl, and they went the next day. Daryl had the VIN number, went the next day, and as soon as he walked up to that van, he knew that it was Terry's van.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's unbelievably amazing. It was sold twice. It was sold to a family in Ontario, and then it was sold to another family who gave it to their son, I believe, who came out here, and he was actually in a heavy metal rock band called Revival or Removal or something, and this band toured all over North America playing music. So, oh my gosh, if those walls in that band could talk, I'd just be amazed at the stories that it would tell. But it was purchased, my brother purchased it, and then Ford Canada restored it, and over 1,100 hours was put into the restoration, and it was brought back to its original state. And actually, it was really an overwhelming experience when it was unveiled in St. John's last May. We did something called the Tour of Hope, and the van went back across from one end of Canada to the other, and all of us as different family members was with the van. So it was pretty emotional, actually, to see it in person and to know that it was, where Terry sat and where he slept and where he sweated and where he was protected by everything, just to have peace and quiet, and it was just it was an amazing experience for all of us, because we weren't with Terry, except for Daryl, and to have people come up to us and say, Terry, I saw Terry, I lived in Mississauga, or I saw Terry. I had in Kingston, Ontario, when I was with it, one of the OPP drivers, he had come up to me and was so overwrought with emotion that he couldn't even speak to me, and he had driven behind Terry for about 3 hours in 1980, and he just couldn't believe that he had the opportunity to see the van again. So we all had some really amazing experiences. My dad was with it in Alberta with my daughter Jessica. She works for the foundation as well, so they were there together, and it's we've hopefully got some plans for it. We're not sure exactly what it's in storage right now. We're not sure exactly what we'll be doing, but it will certainly be out there and visiting, and we'll be able to use it as to tell Terry's story and continue to tell Terry's story, and hopefully raise more and more funds for cancer research.
Absolutely, that's a great story, and You know, in terms of storytelling, I understand that Canadian basketball player and former MVP Steve Nash is also working on putting something together. Maybe you can share that with us, especially for the folks who are in the U.S. right now.
Okay. Well, Steve Nash is I don't know if we've known it before. I don't think we have, but is an absolute one of the bigger Terry Fox fans that I think we know, and he's just he's just admires Terry so much and always has, and considered him a hero. And he actually, his second passion besides basketball is filmmaking, and he has a film company with his cousin. Ezra is from the UK, and they have a film company, and so he has asked through ESPN to do a documentary on Terry, and so that has been going on this past summer. We've met him a few times, and you know, we have some pretty amazing people in Canada, and he is one of them. He's just a phenomenal man. He's very, very humble. I couldn't even find the words to express how I feel about him and how grateful I am for him to be doing what he's doing so that Terry's story can be shown in the States. And he's just phenomenal. He filmed, interviewed my parents, and just, you know, Doug Allward, and just different people that were with the run, with the Marathon of Hope. And then he had lots of photos taken of, or shots taken with the van as well. And actually a really neat story is, I don't know if you're familiar with Sidney Crosby, and there's a Tim Hortons commercial with Sidney Crosby, and they stop, there's something wrong with their van, so they stop at the side of the road.
Okay.
And Sidney Crosby gets out and he goes and plays. There's some kids playing hockey on an outside rink.
Yeah.
And he goes and starts playing with them, and it was just this, you know, all these kids were just so amazed that he would just do that, throw his skates on and do it. Anyways, Steve Nash did the same thing. My brother Fred was with them, and they were on some lonely road here in Chilliwack, down a farm road, and I guess after they were done shooting, he must have noticed up the street these kids playing basketball. And the kids had no clue who he was at the time, like until he went up there and started playing basketball with them. It was just such an amazing and thoughtful thing for him to do, and totally made those kids' day. It was awesome.
That's great.
But, yeah, so I'm not sure when the documentary will be finished. I mean, I'll definitely let you know, Sean, so you can post it, but sometime in the new year. I'm
Okay,
just not
great.
sure when. Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing I guess that's coming up that's fairly big for the foundation is your upcoming 30th year, and I know